Hey, y'all remember all that crap y'all talked about the Lumix S9? Well, it just got a huge buff, Let's go. Yo, what up, y'all? Tight Shirt here, Wolf, and I'm back for another video. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Remember to be thankful for your freaking life today because you did not have to have that. It is a cold fall day, and I'm here at an undisclosed location to tell you about the Lumix S9 and this new crazy firmware update that you will be able to get for it tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Now, I want to say this real quick. First of all, this is not the only Lumix camera that's getting a firmware update today. It's the Lumix S9, the S5II, the S5IIX, and the G9II. All of them are getting firmware updates, but the S9 obviously is the most significant. There's a new lens we got to talk about, and I also want to say this. Remember all of that crap y'all talked about me and everybody else when the S9 first came out? Oh, I'm a shill and this camera's not good. Yes, it is. A lot of y'all need to back up and remember that this is not a freaking cinema camera. This is just a small, full-frame, 24-megapixel camera that could just happen to shoot 6K 30 open gate, that you could put 39 freaking LUTs in, that you could put on photos and videos. It's got anamorphic support, some of the best stabilization out there, and the list goes on and on. It's really a fantastic camera, but let's go ahead and dig into what these firmware updates are. All right, so to install this firmware update, you just grab it off of Lumix's website, you copy the bin file to the root of your SD card, you go in the camera, you run the update, it takes like 2 freaking minutes, wham bam, thank you ma'am, and the update is finished. The first thing that Lumix did with the S9 is they removed those horrible recording limits that I made no secret that I could not stand. Before, you could only record in 10 minutes in 6K, 15 minutes in 4K, 20 minutes I think in 1080p. Well, now the record limit is totally gone. And I know this shouldn't be some game-changing feature because you should have never had record limits in the first place, but as I suspected, when it first came out, I told y'all that the reason that Lumix probably put record limits on this camera is to negate the overheating for the target audience, right? They didn't want people getting the camera and then complaining about the overheating. Well, people complained, they listened, and they removed it completely. Now, once you turn this off in the menu, the camera will give you a disclaimer to say, basically, if you turn off record limits, your camera might overheat. It might get real hot, so you might want to, be considerate of those things. Now, personally, it hasn't overheated on me at all. It's not to say that it won't overheat on you in, more extreme circumstances, but so far, it's been nothing but smooth sailing for me. So I'm happy about it. No more record limits. Now, the next major thing is multiple frame markers with the S9. Now, all cameras allow you to put at least one frame marker on the screen, right? But with the Lumix cameras, you're buying these a lot because you want to shoot open gate, okay? And with open gate, the point of that is if you wanted to get, like, let's just say a vertical and a horizontal crop out the same clip, you can do that because it's capturing the full width and height of the sensor. The problem is a lot of times you don't know where to put the subject to make sure that the subject is in frame for your horizontal and your video clip. Well, now with the S9, you can put 3 frame markers on there. So let's just say you wanted to do a 16:9, a 9:16, and a 1:1. You can put them all on the screen at the same time and make them different colors and adjust the position and the size of them. For people who shoot open gate, who want to film one time and get multiple deliverables out the same video clip, this is such a game-changing feature. And unfortunately right now, the S5II, the S5IIX, and the G9II are not going to get this feature. You probably noticed that my shutter has been freaking cranked to all oblivion in this video. Well, that's because I forgot my ND filters at the house. The other thing that you probably noticed is that my voice sounds a little electronic today. Well, I'm losing my voice because I'm a great freaking dad and I was yelling and screaming at my daughter's cheer game yesterday, so there's that. If you like this video so far, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so that you get notified when new videos go up. Now that we got that out the way, let's talk about the rest of the stuff that they buffed on the S9. Now, of course, it was bug fixes and all that stuff, right? But let's talk about autofocus first because it is improved with this camera. Now, I already thought that the S9 had the best autofocus out of all the Lumix cameras that I tried out. Well, they made it even better, okay? Now, the S5II, the S5IIX, and the G9II all have subject detection, right? But they only have this feature called parts on humans and animals. And basically what parts will do is, hence the name, allow you to focus on a specific part of the human, right? So for example, face and eyes, right? The S9 is the first camera that Lumix offers that allows you to do parts on motorcycles and trains, which is crazy. So basically, if you were photographing somebody on like a motorcycle or taking a video of them on a motorcycle, you could set it to like helmet and it will only focus on the helmet, you know, of the rider or whatever, instead of like the side of the bike or whatever the case may be. Or like if you're taking a picture or video of a train, you can set it to where it only focuses on the first car instead of like the third or fourth car, you know, and jumping focus back and forth. Or like if you're filming like an automobile, you can set it to just focus on the front of the automobile and not the side or the corner tire or whatever the case may be. So the autofocus got a bump. The next other big thing is connectivity, right? So this now will allow you to do remote shooting, which is something that the S9 cannot do before. And it drove me crazy because every other camera that I have, besides the Lumix cameras, could do remote shooting. Basically, you fire up the app, you can control all the parameters of the camera in addition to starting and stop recording and using it as like a shutter release for photos. Well, the S9 could not do that before. Now you can, and it works seamlessly. The other thing that's not in the patch notes is they added LEICA monochrome to the Lumix S9. The last thing I wanna go over is a lot of y'all are gonna ask, did Lumix add the ability to USB stream with this camera? And unfortunately, that answer is no. Hopefully we will get it in the future, but right now you cannot use the Lumix S9 as a USB webcam. Now that I got the S9 stuff out there, I want to tell you about this lens, and I'm going to tell you about the updates that the S5II, the S5IIX, and the G9II got. And you know, the other thing I forgot to tell y'all, the S9 comes in a bunch of colors already. Well, now they're adding 2 more colors, so now you can get teal or pink. I know you dudes want the pink one, right? See that right there? This is the new 18 to 40 millimeter full frame f4.5 to f6.3 compact zoom lens for Lumix cameras. Now, I have a feeling that Lumix made this lens because when the S9 first came out, there were no small lenses for it except for the 26 millimeter f8. Anyways, okay, you see how small it is. It does have a autofocus, manual focus switch on it. It's got a 62 millimeter filter thread. This is 18 millimeters right here, which you will have to open the lens up to 18 millimeter before the camera will allow you to use it. And this is 40 millimeter right here. Now, this lens does have weather sealing and dust resistance on it, so you can, you know, take it to areas where it might be a little sketchy without having to worry about it. It's a 7-bladed aperture, 8 lens elements in 7 different groups, and $499. So I know this is not the ideal lens for everybody. F4.5 to f6.3, you know, as a general purpose overall vlogging lens is fine, but you know, you definitely need to be mindful that you don't have a whole lot of light to work with when you get in lower light scenarios. All in all, again, I think for people who are just looking for a small, lightweight travel lens, I think this might fit the bill for them for 499 bucks. What y'all think? Oh, what's wrong? You thought I forgot about the Lumix S5II, the X, and the G9II? I didn't. They got some pretty decent firmware updates also, but I'm not about to keep saying all 3 of them names all over again. So from here on out for the rest of this video, they will be referred to as them cameras. Well, them cameras now get real-time LUT just like the Lumix S9. So the whole suite is there, all 39 LUTs. You can import them, create them, customize them, share them, download them, like all of those things, hot swap them to the camera, photos and JPEGs. Having a camera that has full controls, buttons, dials, and an EVF with real-time LUT is just so amazing. So I'm glad that this camera and the other cameras have been updated. That also means that these now work with Lumix Lab. The only problem is, however, they don't have the full functionality when it comes to remote shooting, using it as a remote shutter, all that stuff like the Lumix S9 does. I don't know if they're gonna get it, but right now they don't. The other thing is they added 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi support on them cameras. So now you get more reliable transfers, faster transfers to Lumix Lab. And as I already said, LEICA monochrome has been added to the photo style. So I'm really glad that Lumix is listening to our complaints and all that stuff and updating these cameras. They were already fantastic cameras, but Lumix just keep making them better and better. And Lumix is gonna be a big dog in another, 2 years or so. I'm telling y'all right now. So you need to hop on the train because they are packing these cameras out with features at amazing values, and they're amazing cameras. Anyways, let me know what y'all think. Remember to hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you get notified when new videos go up. Till next time, I'm out of here. Tight shirt, Terry Warfield. Piece of chicken grease. I'm out, y'all. Much love. Peace. Battery dying. That's why I'm rushing. I got like 1 notch left.